Andrea Bocelli's journey begins in the gentle countryside of Tuscany, where vineyards stretch toward the horizon and life moves at an unhurried rhythm. Born in 1958 in the small village of La Giatico near Pisa, he grew up in a home that valued simplicity, family, and faith more than wealth. His parents worked diligently and filled the house with encouragement, music, and the belief that every child carries a unique purpose. Even before the world knew his name, Andrea's environment shaped his sensitivity to sound and emotion. The quiet evenings, the distant hum of tractors, and the melodies his mother sang created a natural soundtrack to his childhood. These early influences nurtured a deep love for music that felt less like a hobby and more like a calling. In those rolling hills, far from grand stages, the foundation of a global artist was quietly forming. Learning to see through sound, Andrea was born with a serious vision condition that limited his sight from infancy, and by the age of 12 he had lost his vision completely after a sports accident. Yet what might have defined his life as limitation instead became a gateway to extraordinary perception. Unable to rely on images, he learned to experience the world through sound, texture, and imagination. Music became not only an art form, but also a language that allowed him to interpret emotions and spaces with remarkable clarity. He began studying piano at a young age and later explored several other instruments, guided by teachers who recognized his unusual ear for melody. Rather than viewing blindness as an ending, Andrea embraced it as a different way of understanding reality. This shift in perspective did not erase challenges, but it cultivated resilience, discipline, and an inner vision that would later resonate through every note he sang. Music as a lifelong companion. For Andrea, music was never merely entertainment. It was comfort, structure, and inspiration woven into daily life. As a child, he often found peace sitting at the piano, repeating melodies until they felt like familiar friends. His ability to memorize compositions after hearing them once amazed instructors and revealed a natural musical intelligence. Opera recordings filled his room, introducing him to powerful voices that stirred deep emotion and planted ambitious dreams. While other children discovered hobbies, Andrea discovered identity. Music provided confidence during uncertain moments and offered a sense of belonging that transcended physical limitations. It was not applause he sought in those early years, but connection, the feeling that sound could bridge distances between hearts. Balancing practical dreams and passion. Despite his growing musical talent, Andrea initially pursued a traditional academic path, studying law at the University of Pisa. The decision reflected both practicality and respect for his family's wishes, as a legal career promised stability and security. Yet even while attending lectures and preparing for exams, music continued to echo in his thoughts. To support himself, he played piano in local bars during the evenings, turning small venues into personal rehearsal spaces. Those performances taught him how to capture attention in noisy rooms and communicate emotion to listeners who had not planned to be an audience. Law sharpened his discipline and memory, while music nourished his spirit. Eventually, he realized that his true fulfillment lay not in courtrooms but in concert halls. Choosing music full-time was not an abandonment of reason, but a courageous acknowledgement that passion and purpose deserved equal respect alongside practicality. A chance opportunity that changed everything. Andrea's transition from local performer to international figure began with a single opportunity that arrived through persistence and preparation. In the early 1990s, a demo recording intended for established opera stars unexpectedly highlighted his extraordinary voice. When respected musicians heard him sing, they recognized a rare blend of strength and tenderness that stood apart. Invitations to perform on larger stages soon followed, introducing him to audiences beyond his hometown. His breakthrough appearances were not sudden miracles, but the result of years spent refining technique and emotional expression. With each performance, his confidence grew and his reputation expanded. What made this period remarkable was not only rising fame, but the humility he maintained while stepping into global recognition. Andrea approached success with gratitude rather than entitlement, understanding that opportunity rewards those who prepare quietly, long before the spotlight appears. Songs that traveled the world. As Andrea's career flourished, his music began reaching listeners far beyond Italy, crossing borders and languages with surprising ease. Songs such as Time to Say Goodbye became universal anthems played at celebrations, ceremonies, and personal milestones around the globe. His voice carried both power and vulnerability, allowing audiences to feel stories even without understanding the lyrics. Concert halls, cathedrals, and open-air venues filled with people drawn to the emotional honesty of his performances. He blended classical opera with contemporary elements, creating a style that welcomed newcomers while respecting tradition. This balance helped introduce opera to younger generations who might never have explored the genre otherwise. Andrea did not simply perform compositions. He conveyed feeling, turning each concert into a shared experience. Love, family, and personal growth. Beyond the stage, Andrea's personal life shaped his emotional depth and artistic expression. Marriage and fatherhood brought moments of joy, as well as lessons about balance and commitment. Like many public figures, he experienced changes in relationships over time, yet he consistently expressed gratitude for the people who supported him during different chapters of his life. His children grew up surrounded by music, sometimes joining him in performances that symbolize continuity across generations. Family provided grounding amid demanding schedules and international travel, reminding him that success is most meaningful when shared with loved ones. Through both happiness and transition, Andrea remained respectful and private, choosing dignity over spectacle. These personal experiences enriched his performances, adding layers of authenticity to songs about love, longing, and hope. Facing public challenges with grace. Living in the public eye inevitably brings misunderstandings and criticism, and Andrea encountered moments when his words or decisions were debated widely. Instead of responding defensively, he often chose calm clarification and humility, emphasizing empathy and dialogue. This approach strengthened his reputation as an artist guided by sincerity rather than controversy. One of his most memorable performances occurred during a difficult global period when he sang alone in a vast cathedral, offering comfort through music to millions watching from their homes. That moment highlighted the essence of his artistry, using voice not merely for entertainment, but for reassurance and unity. By addressing challenges with patience and honesty, he demonstrated that public figures can remain compassionate while staying true to personal convictions. His demeanor reminded audiences that respect and humility are powerful tools, capable of transforming tension into understanding and preserving the integrity of one's message. Giving back through music and philanthropy, success expanded Andrea's ability to contribute beyond performance, leading him to support educational and humanitarian initiatives through charitable foundations. He and his collaborators focused on improving access to learning resources, healthcare, and opportunities for children in vulnerable communities. These efforts reflected his belief that art carries responsibility alongside recognition. Rather than viewing philanthropy as an obligation, he embraced it as a natural extension of gratitude for the support he had received throughout his career. Benefit concerts and collaborative projects allowed him to merge music with meaningful impact, proving that influence can be directed toward collective progress. His commitment to giving back demonstrated that legacy is not measured solely by album sales or awards, but by the positive difference one leaves in the lives of others. A life guided by light within, today, Andrea Bocelli stands as a symbol of perseverance, artistry, and inner vision. Living by the sea in Tuscany, he balances rehearsals, family time, and moments of quiet reflection, maintaining habits that keep both voice and spirit strong. Health challenges and stage nerves have occasionally required rest and patience, yet his dedication to music remains unwavering. What distinguishes his legacy is not perfection, but authenticity. The willingness to continue learning and expressing gratitude for every opportunity to sing. His life story encourages people to look beyond limitations and recognize the power of perspective. Andrea often emphasizes that true light comes from within, shaped by faith, discipline, and compassion. Through decades of music, he has shown that even without physical sight, one can illuminate countless hearts, proving that the brightest guidance often rises from the deepest inner strength.